South Korean president's calculation behind martial law declaration. By declaring martial law, President Yoon Suk-yeol seemingly aimed to leverage military power to suppress opposition forces, intensifying political pressure against him. However, this calculation ultimately failed. South Korea plunged into a severe political crisis after President Yoon unexpectedly announced martial law during a televised address on the night of December 3. His move shocked even allies within the ruling People Power Party, PP, drew sharp criticism from the National Assembly, and sparked street protests in Seoul overnight. Through martial law, I will rebuild and protect the Free Republic of Korea, which is on the brink of destruction. I will eliminate anti-state forces as swiftly as possible and normalize the country, Yoon declared, urging the public to endure some inconveniences. By the morning of December 4, however, President Yoon announced his decision to lift martial law after the National Assembly convened an emergency session and passed a resolution demanding its repeal. The last time martial law was declared in South Korea was in 1979. Following the assassination of President Park Chung-hee during a coup, President Yoon offered only vague explanations for his decision, citing threats from North Korea, without providing concrete evidence. Observers believe that the stated reasons, such as eliminating anti-state, pro-North Korean forces and protecting constitutional order, were a facade to mask Yoon's true intent, alleviating mounting political pressure against him. President Yoon faces a series of political troubles, including plummeting public approval ratings, policy deadlocks, and investigations into allegations of his wife accepting bribes in the form of luxury handbags. This decision likely stems from Yoon's desire to overcome escalating domestic political challenges and confront what he perceives as the opposition party's efforts to topple his administration, said James Park, an expert at the Quincy Institute's East Asia program based in the U.S. South Koreans have grown increasingly discontented with President Yoon's governance. For months, his approval rating has hovered around 20%, recently hitting a record low of 17%. In a November poll, 58% of South Koreans said they wanted President Yoon to resign or be impeached. Moreover, an increasing number of opposition lawmakers have called for his impeachment in the Democratic Party, DP, controlled National Assembly. The current political turmoil is, in Yoon's view, a consequence of an opposition-led campaign to destabilize his administration. Park from the Quincy Institute noted, fearing his power was at risk and needing a decisive action, he turned to martial law, which would suspend the National Assembly and ban political gatherings that could incite social unrest. In his martial law announcement, President Yoon criticized the opposition-controlled legislature, blaming it for hampering his ability to govern effectively. Since the legislative elections earlier this year, which gave the opposition a majority, Yoon's powers have effectively been curtailed. Unable to pass laws he supports, he has resorted to vetoing bills passed by the opposition. This was likely what he meant when he accused the opposition of paralyzing the country. President Yoon clearly lacks public trust and feels frustrated by his political constraints, said Celeste Arrington, director of the Korea Research Institute at George Washington University. He has used his presidential veto power at an unprecedented frequency to push forward his agenda, Arrington noted. Meanwhile, the opposition party has escalated pressure by attempting to impeach senior government officials and launching investigations into the First Lady. The political battle has intensified and shows no signs of abating. Recently, the conservative PPP, President Yoon's party, remained deadlocked with the DP over next year's budget bill. Simultaneously, the opposition moved to impeach 3 top prosecutors, which Yoon described as retaliation for a criminal investigation targeting Lee Jae-myung, who narrowly lost to Yoon in the 2022 presidential election but is seen as a strong contender for the 2027 election. Yoon's handling of scandals and strikes by medical interns opposing his healthcare reform plans has also created rifts within his party, with PPP chairman Han Dong-hoon, once a close ally, urging him to rescind martial law. Martial law, declared on December 3, required striking doctors to return to work within 48 hours or face military sanctions. The government justified the plan to increase medical students as necessary to address South Korea's shortage of doctors. Despite opposition arguing it would lower healthcare quality, the immediate economic impact was evident, as the South Korean won depreciated 2.5% against the US dollar, hitting its lowest level since 2016. Stock market indices also declined sharply on the morning of December 4. Despite the repeal of martial law, Sung Min Cho, a political science professor at Sungkyunkwan University in Seoul, remarked that the swift parliamentary response to overturn martial law demonstrated the resilience of South Korea's democracy. The democratic system curbed his misguided decision, Cho emphasized in a post on X.